As we enter into the new year, we all want to make this next one better than the last. The trouble is, the majority of us start off well before falling back into familiar habits and routines that are comfortable, and before you know it, we're back exactly where we started. But what if you could turn the tide? What if you could make this year the best that you've ever had? What if you could get yourself into a different pack and towards a year of achieving your goals and success? Well, if this sounds like you, then hang around for this video, because I'm going to show you a system that will get you ahead of 99% of athletes this year. And to begin with, I want to talk about Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps is arguably one of the greatest swimmers of all time. Not only known for his physical ability in the pool and being a champion racer, he's also a champion at one other thing: setting goals. At the age of 8 years old, Michael Phelps wrote, "I would like to make the Olympics." And by the time he was 31, he'd not only achieved that dream, but also earned himself 28 medals and wrote his name in history as the most decorated Olympian of all time. And while Michael Phelps' hard work and talent definitely matter, it all starts with goal setting. But all goal setting follows some basic principles, those that were set about by Lockham Latham in 1990, where they founded and theorized goal setting theory. They stated that there were 5 principles around clarity, challenge, commitment, feedback, and task complexity. But there is also a more widely known acronym known as SMART goals, and that's what we'll focus on in this video. Most athletes will set out SMART goals. The S stands for specific. You also want to make it specific so that you know what it is you're trying to achieve. If you want to set a goal such as I want to go to the gym, that might not be specific enough. Whereas if you say I want to go to the gym and do a weight-based training program to build strength, that is far more specific so that you know exactly what it is that you're trying to achieve. The M stands for measurable. We want to measure our goals so that we not only can track our progress, but we can also know where we might fail. And that is equally as important, because if we don't measure our goals, we not only don't know whether we're doing things right, we also don't know whether we're doing things wrong. And so knowing whether you're going in the right direction or wrong direction is just as important so that you can start to check whether you're doing the right thing. The A stands for achievable or attainable. This is about setting a goal that is challenging but within reach. We don't want to set a goal that is so far out of reach that we might give up and not even try it in the first place. So make sure that whatever goal that you set is achievable. The R stands for relevant. This is about a goal that is relevant to your overall long-term vision and goal that you're setting. So think about the long-term goals that you might have. It might be getting into a certain team. Is the goal that you're setting right now working towards that dream and that goal? If not, it may not be relevant. So make sure that whatever goal you're setting is relevant. The T stands for time bound. This is about setting a deadline or milestone to help you track your progress and maybe even give you some parameters to get you moving and taking action in the first place. This will help keep you focused and stop you from procrastinating on other tasks along the way. So using this principle of SMART goals, every goal that you set, you want to check whether it follows this SMART principle, whether it's specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. The next step is where we start to break down and prioritize our goals. And we do this by writing down all our goals that we would like to achieve in the year, and then set what I call game changer goals. Game changer goals are where you look at all of your goals and then ask the question, what will have the biggest impact in my life right now? I like to think of setting a game changer goal to either work in the monthly or sometimes even quarterly. You are going to focus solely on this goal for the next period of time. So let's say that your game changer goal is building your squat by 30 kilos. You're going to write all of the different aspects of that goal around it. So if it's your sleep, it might be make sure I get 8 hours of sleep a night. If it's diet, it might be increase protein intake. If it's training, it might be hire a coach. It might be join a gym. It might even be build out a 4-month program. Once you've built out this game changer goal, you'll have some real clarity on all the different elements that are going to help you along the way that can be put into your calendar to help you work towards your goal. This next bit is what most people never do, and that is setting identity goals. Your identity goals is about setting and creating a persona that you will need in order to start working towards these goals. Think of someone like Kobe Bryant, who created the Black Mamba, or Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who created The Rock. These people created personas to help them perform, and you might be feeling that you're not there yet in order to get yourself into the mentality of someone that can do this. You'll start to build out a persona of someone that you want to become, and you can actively create steps to do that. Once you've written it down, you can see it and you can start to work towards it. So write down what your plan B is to create the identity and mindset that helps you achieve these goals. And once you start to do that, you'll then identify yourself with the activity. So if your goal is to start meditating, you'll no longer just be someone who meditates, you will become a meditator. If you're someone who does running or goes running, you become a runner. If you're someone who just goes to the gym, you don't do that, you become a gym goer. It's all about creating a persona, an identity around the goals that you're trying to achieve. And while that character is helping you build out habits and routines to work towards your goals, this next step is just as important, and that is removing unhealthy habits. While we want to build these routines and habits, it's as important to get rid of the ones that don't serve us. Some of the most high-performing athletes that I've had the chance to work with, compete with, and play against, and even talk to, all set out non-negotiables that allow them to protect themselves from these unhealthy habits. So you might find your unhealthy habit could be binging Netflix. It might be skipping breakfast, staying up late, skipping your warm-up, not doing your recovery. So once you've started to recognize what yours are, recognize that you can build a new one alongside it. So don't try to do all of them all at once. Make it realistic and aim for one per quarter so that you can bring in a new one every quarter too. That's 4 new habits every year. But all of this, building new routines, removing unhealthy habits, building out a system, requires one fundamental thing that is the last piece of the puzzle. And that is the 2 C's. Commitment and consistency. The most elite athletes out there are committed. They're uncompromising in what they do and how they go about it. They get up every day and work towards their goals, their dreams, and don't allow the distractions to get in their way. They also build out consistency, and consistency isn't just doing some of this for the first few weeks. It's about doing it over months, sometimes even years and decades. So if your commitment isn't right there right now, build yourself a commitment statement. Simply write the words, "I will." But perhaps sometimes that can be too difficult just to do it for yourself. So another way to build commitment is to do it with someone else. Find yourself an accountability buddy. West Indies cricket legend Carl Hooper once told me the story of how he and Brian Lara would get up and go running early every morning. They would work together towards the goals that they were setting. Carl said that he found it really easy to say no to himself, but he couldn't say no to Brian. And then along the way, they would challenge each other and even build out a bit of competition on those runs. And that helped them get to their goals even better. So if you're finding it really hard to do it by yourself, create your commitment statement and then find yourself an accountability buddy also. And finally, consistency. Being consistent is what the greats do best. The greats are not the best every day, but what they are is committed and consistent. They're able to get up and keep going, even if it doesn't feel like they can. Consistency isn't about being great all of the time, it's about being good most of the time. So if you are thinking about going into achieving your goals and going as hard as you can early, you want to make sure that you can do it over a sustained period. It's not about doing it in a few days or weeks. It's about whether you can do it months or even years, maybe decades down the line. James Clear states that a habit missed once is an accident, but a habit missed twice is the start of a new habit. And so you might want to be doing everything every day, but the reality could be completely different. So even if you miss a day and you just do every other day, that is some form of consistency. Yes, you want to build up more time on task, but to start and set the bar low enough so that you can start to achieve it could be where you start. It's all about creating small, consistent bits of effort rather than these large efforts that require long periods of either burnout, injury, or time off. And before we go, I would add this. This is not easy. This is not meant to be easy because if it was, everyone would do it. Trying to get ahead of everyone else and be in that 1% is all about doing a commitment that others aren't willing to do. And I can tell you that during my time as a professional athlete, it was the same. It was difficult, it was uncomfortable, it wasn't pleasant, but it was that much sweeter at the end and so much more worthwhile when you did achieve it. So there you have it. No doubt if you put in this system, you will start to get ahead of 99% of athletes this year. And if you want to level up your mental game even further, head to this video right now.